Hi there. This is Jacob Nash, and this is a review of Module 28 on applying operant conditioning. Right? So if you don't remember what that is, then maybe you should watch the last module. But let's talk about places where it can be used. So it can be used in school. And because there's now some teaching technology, which helps students know that something results in a consequence or reward. And they're in sports, for example, they can use confidence. So maybe they'll start out with the easy. Maybe here's a good example. Maybe someone starts out with a bigger baseball, maybe you could say, and it's easier to hit, and that causes confidence and it improves the behavior. And then in work, there can be rewards like maybe commissions, for example. And then at home, one example is yelling. So yelling could be could strengthen or weaken a behavior. And then self-improvement, to get something done, we might give ourselves rewards. So for example, you might say, okay, after I answer 10 math problems, then I will watch a YouTube video or something. I'll watch Jacob Nash's videos that I really like. So whatever. That's examples of where it can be used. So you never know if you might have something like that on FRQ. It's not super common that you would have to create your own example. Usually you just have to apply whatever example they give you, but you never know. Biofeedback. So biofeedback is technology. So we've talked about lots of different technologies. Remember, like EEG and stuff like that. But this technology is just recording information about blood pressure and things like that to help control stress. So have you ever been at a hospital and there's like a beeper that beeps depending on how much you're breathing? I know that one time I had to go there. Don't remember why. It was like a few years ago. Maybe it was when I was being tested for celiac disease. I had some kind of interesting things one year, maybe in 2018 it was, that I had some kind of like spontaneous things happen, and we were trying to figure out. I'm kind of getting off track, but I just had to go. I had to see if I had celiac disease, and I had to go on like some crazy, like no dairy, no acidic food diets or something like. And but anyways, I went there one time, and there was like a beeper that was beeping based on how I was breathing. I might have been nervous because I think I like almost passed out from when I was getting like blood drawn or something, and it was like and I was like, whoa, gotta calm down, gotta calm down. And then it kind of made me calm down. Like, sorry, I always do that. I accidentally knocked the earbud out of my ear. It's where my mic is. So anyways, so that's pretty much what biofeedback is. It will have some kind of thing, although it's more formal than that. Like that wasn't even necessarily intentional biofeedback, but just like what I was talking about, it was like I heard that. In this case, you might see something like a meter, and it's like, oh, you're stressed. And it might not specifically say that. It would just tell you your blood pressure, breathing, or something. But for me, I heard that and I was like, oh, gotta calm down, gotta calm down, and then it kind of slowed down. It made me calm down. But in a way, it actually sometimes felt like it stressed me out even more. So I don't know if this is always effective, but you just gotta know what that is. All right, let's talk about a respondent or operant behavior. Respondent behavior occurs as an automatic response, okay? So the textbook, it says, we associate different stimuli that we do not control and we respond automatically. And this is what we think of as with classical conditioning. We're going to talk in the next slide more about the differences between. But respondent, we're talking about classical conditioning that we think A means B. Remember little Albert? He thought loud noise means rat. And so he had an automatic response of crying. Now, operant, though, that's operant conditioning. It operates on the environment producing consequences. So we think about rewards and punishments which influence our behaviors. So the main differences between them, well, is that classical is just when a subject associates events. They realize that A means B, or they come to think that A means B. An example is they captured a wolf and put it in a cage and gave them meat that was like infected or something, like sheep meat that was infected. And when they ate that sheep meat, then they got sick. And so they were released, and then they came to think that a sheep means that I'll get sick. So they told it communicated with the other wolves, and they did not eat the sheep anymore. This isn't just some like fairy tale or something. That's literally something they've done before. Because the reason why they have to do that sometimes is because wolves are protected species. So farmers want to kill them because they're killing their crops, or I don't know if you would consider that a crop, whatever. They're animals, but they're not allowed to. They'll go to jail. So Farmer Dale went to jail, and so instead of him going to jail, they could just like, oh, go get some scientists and make them and put them in some lab and do that. Yeah. So that's classical conditioning, classical. And then operant conditioning, this is when subjects realize what a behavior does. So they're like, oh, if I do this, and that means this will happen. So then that strengthens or weakens it. If it's a reward or a reinforcement, that whether negative or positive, remember from last time, if it's a negative or positive reward or reinforcement, it will strengthen it. If it's a negative or positive punishment, it will weaken it. They realize that a consequence occurs. All right, now we have one question. What is biofeedback? Remember, it is recording and giving back information about blood pressure and other sudden changes to help control stress. Thanks for watching. Try and turn this off.